Imagine standing in the shower and suddenly forgetting how water works. You turn the handle and your brain screams, "Why is liquid pain falling from the ceiling?"
That, my friend, is the magic of a cold shower. It feels like punishment for existing, but it's secretly one of the most effective reset buttons for your nervous system. Here's the sciencey bit. When you expose yourself to cold water, your sympathetic nervous system kicks into overdrive. Your heart rate spikes, adrenaline pops off like fireworks, and your brain decides, okay, I guess we're fighting a polar bear today.
What's actually happening is your brain is building resilience.
Cold exposure has been shown to boost dopamine levels. Yes, the same dopamine you crave when you scroll TikTok at 3 a.m.
The difference? Instead of a cheap dopamine hit that evaporates faster than soda fizz, cold exposure creates a long-lasting dopamine surge. You feel alert, focused, and slightly invincible, like a medieval knight but with shampoo in your eyes. It doesn't have to be full Viking mode ice baths either. Even finishing your shower with 30 seconds of cold water teaches your brain, I can survive discomfort. I won't die. I am a frost-resistant cockroach of success. So yes, cold showers feel like being bullied by your plumbing system, but they also rewire your brain to handle stress, sharpen focus, and make you feel like you have your life together, even if your only real plan today is eating leftover pizza. You know those mad scientists in movies who scribble insane notes on chalkboards, connecting strings to random photos like they're hunting aliens? Congratulations! That's exactly what journaling does for your brain. Your thoughts are like wild raccoons, unpredictable, noisy, and probably digging through mental trash cans. Journaling is basically setting out a raccoon trap. You capture those chaotic thoughts, dump them onto paper, and suddenly your brain sighs in relief. Thank God, someone's in charge here. Psychology research backs this up. Journaling helps regulate the amygdala, the part of your brain that acts like a paranoid smoke detector, screaming fire every time your boss emails you, "Can we talk?" By writing down thoughts, fears, or even your grocery list, you turn down the volume on that amygdala siren. Your prefrontal cortex, the rational smart part, gets a chance to speak. And no, it doesn't have to be poetic diary entries like, "Dear Journal, today I felt the sun kiss my face." It can literally be, "I'm stressed, Karen keeps microwaving fish at work, and I might punch a wall." Because your brain doesn't care about style. It cares that you're untangling the spaghetti mess of neurons into something coherent. Think of journaling as free therapy. Except your therapist is a $2 notebook and a pen you stole from a hotel. It's one of the cheapest, most effective ways to declutter your head and build mental clarity. So, do you want to keep arguing with raccoons in your skull, or do you want to trap them in ink and finally get some peace? Exactly.
Let's be honest. The human body wasn't designed to sit at a desk all day. It was designed to either chase mammoths or run away from tigers. But here you are, hunched over a laptop, spine shaped like a shrimp cocktail.
Exercise, yep, that dreaded word, isn't just about burning calories. It's about rewiring your brain.
Every time you move your body, your hippocampus, the brain's memory hub, lights up like a Christmas tree.
Blood flow increases, neurotransmitters go wild, and your brain goes, "Ah yes, oxygen, my favorite drug."
The cool part, you don't need to train like The Rock. Even a brisk walk can spark neurogenesis. That's your brain creating shiny new neurons, which is basically like adding RAM to your biological computer.
Suddenly, you remember things better, learn faster, and maybe even stop forgetting why you walked into a room.
Exercise also drops stress hormones like cortisol while pumping up endorphins, making you feel like a slightly more stable human being instead of a gremlin running on caffeine fumes.
So here's the deal. Move your body in any way that feels less like punishment and more like survival theater. Dance badly in your kitchen, run like someone's chasing you with overdue taxes, do push-ups until your arms regret being alive. Whatever it is, your brain will thank you by working better,
thinking sharper, and keeping you out of the emotional dumpster.
Basically, exercise is the closest thing humans have to a legal brain upgrade. No plugins required.
You ever notice how reading a book feels like plugging your brain into another person's consciousness? Like you're sitting in bed, but in your head, you're storming castles, solving murders, or learning about how fungi secretly run the world. Reading is literally the closest thing we have to mind control, and you're the willing victim. From a neuroscience angle, reading strengthens the brain's white matter, the cables that let different parts of your brain gossip with each other.
The more you read, the faster your neurons communicate, which means your brain becomes less like a broken dial-up modem and more like high-speed fiber optic Wi-Fi.
Reading also increases empathy. Seriously, when you read fiction, your brain simulates the emotions of characters. It's like method acting, but without embarrassing yourself in public. You practice stepping into other perspectives, which makes you less of a self-centered potato in real life. And let's not forget memory and vocabulary. Every new word you learn is like adding a cheat code to your brain.
Suddenly, instead of saying, "I'm mad," you can say, "I'm experiencing existential fury," which sounds cooler and scarier. Think of it this way. Your brain is a muscle. Reading is weightlifting for your neurons. If Netflix is brain junk food, then reading is an all-you-can-eat buffet of kale, salmon, and blueberries.
So if you want to rewire your brain for success, maybe stop scrolling through memes about raccoons and hoodies and pick up a book once in a while.
Okay, meditation. The habit everyone swears by, but no one wants to admit feels like trying to babysit a sugar rush toddler inside your head.
You sit down, close your eyes, and instantly your brain yells, "What about bills? What about snacks? Did we lock the door? Should we invent time travel?"
Here's the deal. Meditation doesn't mean emptying your brain like a Zen monk floating in space. It's about teaching your prefrontal cortex to stop being hijacked by random mental pop-up ads.
Think of it as installing an ad blocker for your thoughts.
When you meditate, even for 5 minutes, you literally change the structure of your brain.
MRI studies show it thickens gray matter in areas responsible for emotional regulation. Translation, you become less likely to flip out when someone cuts you off in traffic.
It also lowers cortisol, boosts focus, and makes your attention span less tragic.
Meditation is like upgrading from a jittery squirrel brain to a calm golden retriever brain.
And yes, it's awkward at first, but you don't need incense, gongs, or a spiritual guru who only eats kale. You just need to sit down, breathe, and notice your thoughts without wrestling them.
That's it. You're rewiring your brain every time you resist the urge to check your phone mid-breath.
So yeah, meditation might feel boring, but boring is the point. It's the neurological equivalent of cleaning out your mental attic. And who doesn't want a brain that's less cluttered than a hoarder's garage?
That's it for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to watch them.